I'm Anita. Today I'm going to take you through a tutorial on extended hand to big toe pose, or in Sanskrit it's called Hasta Padangustasana. This is a balancing pose. It requires a little bit of strength, but for the most part it requires flexibility and obviously balance. All you're going to need, if you need it, is a rope. If you don't have a rope, use a scarf, a tie, a belt, or anything that can give you leverage. So let's get started. I forgot to say that this is a request video. A lot of you have been asking me to do this pose as a tutorial. I'm going to do different things in this video. First, I'm going to go to the floor. I'm going to show you a few poses that I think and positions that I think are very important to be able to do on the floor, and if you don't find them challenging on the floor, then you will definitely be able to do them standing. But if you find it challenging to do on the floor, then you're going to have to take that into consideration when you do it standing. Then we'll stand up and I'll take you step by step through my pointers on extended hand to big toe pose. Then I will show you a few yoga poses that you can practice on your own to open up the areas that are important to have open to be able to do the full expression of this position or this pose. That was a handful. But let's go onto the floor and start there. So I'm going to lie all the way down. I'm going to make sure that my legs are hip distance apart. Feet are going to be pointing up, so you don't want to turn your toes out and you don't want to turn them in. And I'm going to roll down onto the floor. I got my rope here on the side. So just imagine that this is your standing mountain pose or samastiti. Arms are at the side. You feel that you're extended from your heels all the way out to the crown of your head, which you naturally do when you're standing. Then we're going to draw the right leg in. All right, and this is the first step. So you can either interlace your fingers, hold around the knee, or you can hold behind the knee if you find that it puts too much pressure on your leg or on your knee. All right, you can hold it here, keep the leg a little bit more bent. What's important in this first position is that you still feel that you're fully extended from the heel to the crown of your head. Then the next step is you want to try to take your two first fingers and your thumb around your big toe. And you're basically now coming into a half happy baby. Now this is quite a deep stretch. There's a pretty deep stretch into the hip flexor. It's a pretty deep stretch around your buttocks and into the hamstring on your bent leg. So when we do this standing, it's very easy to just be hunched over if we don't have the flexibility in the hip flexor or in the butt and the hamstring. So when you hold this position, you want to make sure that you continue to feel the extension from the heel to the crown of your head. Okay? Now if you are unable to hold this, then you should take a rope around your foot and hold it. You know, try to get your hands as close to the foot as you can. Try to get your right knee as close towards your chest and your shoulder as you can. And try to keep both of your shoulder blades on the ground and hold it here. Then the next step is you want to try to extend the leg out. All right? So maybe you're able to hold on to the big toe, but then as you start to extend the leg out, maybe you can't extend the leg all the way out. All right? Maybe you have to use a rope in order to straighten the leg all the way out. Maybe when you hold on to the big toe and you straighten the leg out, your shoulders come off, or you roll over to the left side, or you end up rolling over to the right side. So you want to try to avoid that. You want to make sure that your body is extended and leveled and centered. All right? So this information is very, very important for you to have for the standing version of this. This is a perfectly great pose on its own, and I do this a lot in my yoga stretches and yoga flows. All right, so just notice the flexibility around your right hamstring. Notice the stretch through the left hip flexor. Feel the extension of your body. All right, now try this on the other side. So bend this leg, so the story might be different on this side, or hold around the front or behind. Then try to take the 2 first fingers and thumb to the big toe, finding that half happy baby. And now you notice, I know that I'm a little bit tighter on my right hip flexor, so I definitely feel it more here than I did it on the other side. Feel that you're extending from the heel to the crown of the head. Notice how you feel through the left leg and upper butt. And then from there, try to straighten the leg out. Maybe on this side you can straighten the leg out more, maybe less. And then try to notice how it feels when you hold and you use the rope. Okay? So that's very, very valuable information to have, because if you can't straighten the leg out and keep your body extended on the ground, it's going to be literally impossible to do it standing, because when you're standing you have all of the balancing aspect added to it. So now let's stand back up and I will go through it step by step standing. So when we come into the standing position, I'm going to keep the rope next to me. You want to make sure that your feet are parallel and hip distance apart. And sometimes we keep our feet together, and it doesn't matter which way. Just make sure that your feet are not turned out, that they're not turned in, they're not supinating or pronating. You want to try to find balance through your entire feet and then eventually foot, okay? So you ground yourself through the feet and you feel that you're fully extended to the crown of your head. So you have to feel, start to use your feelings. It's called proprioception. You feel yourself in the pose, rooting down into the feet. We center ourselves into the abs. We keep a focal point in front of us, a drishti, and then we feel the extension all the way out to the crown of our head. So as we go into our extended hand to big toe pose, we want to continue to feel that. We don't want to lean over to the left, we don't want to lean over to the right, but we basically want to try to maintain the same center and balance as we do when we're on both feet. And that's the challenge. So now start to lift the right leg, interlace the fingers, either hold around the front or hold around the back. And as you draw the knee into your chest, just like you did on the floor, try to notice if you're able to maintain extension in your body. Now your left quad is working like crazy for you. Draw in and up through your lower belly, lift through the breastbone, roll the shoulders back, and keep that focal point in front of you. By maintaining the focal point in front of you, you actually then are better able to feel your body, what it's doing, how it's reacting, what feels strong, what feels weak, so on and so forth. So the drishti is really, really important. Then you want to take the 2 first fingers and thumbs around your big toe. And you have to hold around the big toe like you mean it. Not a tiny, squimpy little holding, like you really have to hold it. And from that holding, you root down into your foot, draw in through your lower belly, and then lift up through the breastbone, roll the shoulders back. And then the leg lifts up further, and you're able to maintain that extension. So maybe you're here, maybe you feel that this is fine, maybe this is where you need to be for a while. And then you're going to gradually start to extend the leg. Maybe this is where it's at. As you extend the leg, you want to pull your right shoulder blade back and down so that the shoulder doesn't move out of the socket and you're hunching forward like this. I always in class used to say, who's walking the dog? Is the dog walking you or are you walking the dog? Usually as a dog owner, you want to walk the dog. You want to be in charge over the dog. So this is the same. You're walking the dog. Listen to me, the leg is with you. So lift up tall, oops. Of course, I'm standing there too long. Hold it here and then gradually extend the leg out. All right, and now I can extend the leg out. I'm pulled in, I'm lifted, and I got my balance. But if you can't extend the leg all the way out, but you feel you can extend it like maybe 3/4 of the way, just like you notice that on the reclined version, then you come up and gradually maybe start to extend, and you use the leverage of the rope to help you. Chest up, roll the shoulders back, and voila, there you are. Okay, does that make sense? So then you try to do exactly the same on the other side. So that was the right side. Then you take the education that you got from the floor, from your left side, and you put that in standing. So you come up, and on the left side, maybe you feel a little bit tighter. Draw in, feel the extension, and then gradually extend. So maybe here you can extend the leg halfway because it's tighter. So you make the decision, yogi's choice. Is it better for me to stand here and practice this so I can develop a little bit more length and let my muscles open up gradually? Or should I take the rope, use that leverage, and try to straighten the leg all the way out? Those are the choices that you have to make as you are practicing to see what is it that's going to help you to then be able to do the final expression of the pose without a rope. And it's not even about getting to the final expression of the pose. It is just more about feeling like you are progressing in the pose. There's nothing wrong with using a rope for the rest of your life. That's not what I'm saying. I just want you to put yourself in a position where you can breathe, where you are noticing where your strengths, where your weaknesses are, where your imbalances are, and then as you practice, you are noticing that there are changes that are happening within it. Okay? So again, what's important is that you root down into your feet. It's important you center into your abs. It's important you lift and you lengthen, that you keep your focal point in front of you, and listen into what it is that you need. And from there, you gradually expand and you balance. All right? Remember that balance is not static. You know, we're moving. So even if we're here, it's, you know, fine to sway a little bit, and that's great. You just don't want to hunch and lean forward and, you know, look all like this. I know it's all with good intention, but try to lift and straighten up. Extended hand to big toe pose. I hope that you found my tips helpful. Let me know in the comments what resonated with you, what epiphanies you had, what you felt like you have to really work on. If you have any other questions, I want to hear about it, as well as if you have any other requests. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, and please share this channel or any video that you enjoy with your friends, with your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram community, wherever you are on social media, so that we can keep growing and sharing, and it's going to benefit us all. I hope you're well and take good care. I'll see you next time. Bye.